Welcome to our OSHA Focal Point series. I'm Dr. John Mulroy, Director of the Pennsylvania OSHA Consultation Program, housed in the world-renowned Safety Sciences Department here at Indiana University of Pennsylvania. These videos were created with the essential, need-to-know OSHA compliance information to supplement your safety and health training. Addressing OSHA's most frequently cited standards, like lockout-tagout, fall protection, hazard communication, and machine guarding, these videos can help your organization anticipate, identify, evaluate, and control workplace safety and health hazards. We hope these critical OSHA focal points assist you in preventing future injuries and illnesses. If you still have questions or you need no-cost OSHA compliance assistance, we're here to help. All you need to do is reach out to us at IUP using the link below and request this no-cost OSHA compliance assistance service. It's that easy. Thank you for choosing the Focal Points video series. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to be the first to know when new safety and health content is added to this channel. Have a safe day, everyone. Today's topic is hand and power tools, and the purpose of today's topic is to provide you with the essential need-to-know information about the hazards associated with this equipment. During this short presentation, we will briefly discuss the following topics, which include: what are the different types of hand and power tools? What are the common hazards associated with this equipment? And how can you safely operate these tools on your job site? Types of tools include manually operated hand tools, which you see in this photograph. We also have power-operated tools, which include electrical, pneumatic, liquid fuel, hydraulic, or power-actuated. The types of hazards common to hand and power tools include struck-by hazards, electrical hazards, and caught-in hazards. It also includes harmful exposures to hazardous atmospheres, slips, trips, and falls, and coming in contact with sharp edges or protruding objects. Oftentimes, a hazard can be created when we use the wrong tool or we use a proper tool incorrectly, or if we're using damaged or broken tools or tools that aren't sharp. We may be using tools that produce sparks near flammable sources. We may be using tools that are either not properly guarded or not properly grounded. And when we're using these tools, we may have inadequate personal protective equipment. So how do we protect ourselves when using this equipment? We want to ensure that we use guards to avoid these hazards, and we want to guard any rotating or in-running nip points, any reciprocating or transversing actions, any cutting, punching, shearing, or bedding. When we guard our equipment, the guard needs to protect exposed moving parts, the point of operation, in-running nip points, and rotating components of the equipment. It needs to protect us from flying chips or any sparks that are generated. It needs to protect us from coming in contact with the rotation of an abrasive wheel or any cutting blades. And lastly, never remove guards when that tool is in use. As an example, we have a properly guarded blower. It is impossible to come in contact with the rotating components of this equipment because of the guard. What are the safety practices you need to follow? First, we want to ensure that our tools are always clean and always well maintained. We want to ensure that we use the right tool and we use it the right way. Always follow the manufacturer's recommendations and always wear the correct personal protective equipment. When using these tools, practice good housekeeping and limit the risk of slip, trips, and falls. We want to keep these work areas well lit. We want to ensure that we always inspect our tools, and if we find a defect, we remove it from service. Lastly, we want to keep all cutting tools sharp. When we're using power tools, when we're finished, we always disconnect from our power source. During operation, we want to keep all others at a safe distance, and we always want to ensure that we secure the workpiece. We want to ensure that we avoid accidental startups. We want to ensure our guards are in place and our safety switches are working. Before we begin, ensure that you have good footing and balance. You want to ensure that you're wearing the proper clothing for the task and you are properly guarded from any moving parts with the equipment. When using electrical tools, we always want to tag or remove from service any damaged equipment. We always want to use ground fault circuit interrupters to protect against shock, and never remove the ground prong. Other precautions we need to take include protecting power cords, making sure that our power cords are stored properly, and that we are using ground fault circuit interrupters. When using abrasive wheels or other rotating equipment, we want to ensure that all guards are in place. And before we mount an abrasive wheel, we want to perform a ring test. Always follow our manufacturer's recommendation for operating speeds. Other precautions when using this type of equipment include accelerating the wheel to the operating speed before we begin to use it. Never want to stand in front of a grinding wheel as it's coming up to speed. and that our work rest and our tongue guards are always in proper adjustment. With pneumatic tools, we want to use the exact same precautions with air hoses as with electric cords. We want to securely fasten the air hose to the tool and safeguard it with a positive locking device. We want to equip our tools with a device to keep fasteners from accidentally being ejected. We want to use screens to protect nearby workers, and we never want to use compressed air for cleaning off clothing. For tools that are fuel powered, we want to ensure that we use approved containers when we handle, transport, and store those fuels, that we shut down and allow the engines to cool before refilling them, and that we have adequate ventilation and, when necessary, respiratory protection. On powder actuated tools, we need to treat this equipment with extreme caution. Any worker using this equipment must be trained and licensed, and all personal protective equipment must be worn. For powder tools, we want to select the appropriate powder level for the task. We want to test the tool to ensure that all safety devices are functioning. Always inspect our equipment and never use anything that's found to be defective. With this type of equipment, never load the tool until you're ready to use it. Never point this equipment at anyone. Never leave a loaded tool unattended. And we never want to drive fasteners into any material that may be hard, brittle, or easily penetrated. And never drive fasteners into any spalled area. We always want to use manufacturer recommended shields, guards, and attachment and store this tool in a lockbox. Employers need to ensure that they're complying with all OSHA requirements, which include tool inspection and tool training. To get more help with hand tools or power tools, go to OSHA.gov. Thank you.